One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free, to let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, he rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his step, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he paves his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all made it to Fuck It Friday. Yes, sir. Feels ultra good to be a G. Yes, feels ultra good. This morning we've got a pretty interesting lineup, as I have it titled here. Rubio remarks in Israel. Yes, he is in Israel. Actually, I didn't actually even know that had happened until last night. I did see that he was on his way to Israel or whatever the case is. I was like, God, I didn't see that shit in the lineup at all. But nonetheless, he is over there in Israel and has some remarks with Netanyahu. Shutdown day 24 from the government. As you guys know, it is October 24th, 2025. And yes, the government has been down for 24 days. We got Letitia James in court as well. And I also guess Trump is to be going to Asia. I think what they're referring to in this exact thing was into regards of meeting Xi Jinping over there, the president or whatever of China. That guy is going to be meeting up with Trump over there in South Korea. So that's probably what they're talking about. Nonetheless, what I couldn't fit into the title this morning is a judge extends block on National Guard in Chicago. You gotta love these fucking rogue judges, man. These guys where they're political activists, you know, instead of doing what they're supposed to do. It's unfortunate, but hey, Trump will end up prevailing in this in that fight. They're just slowing down the ordeal. And then we have a roundtable that happened yesterday between Bondi, Hegseth, Noam, Patel, and I believe Trump too. But nonetheless, they're going to be talking about narco terrorists, stuff like that. We have Trump calls off San Francisco's surge, postpones federal troop deployment. That's very, very interesting. Trump's tweet, that is the very first scene of that video right there, says 14 people were shot over the weekend in Chicago, 4 dead. What does failed Governor Pritzker and the equally pathetic mayor say now? Bring in the federal government and bring them in now. That's what Trump is saying. Nonetheless, then I told you about Marco Rubio being over there in Israel and having some remarks. I believe he just spoke 3 hours ago. It says Secretary of State provides remarks and answers media questions during trip to Middle East. This comes days after Vice President held meetings with the Prime Minister as part of President Trump's peace plan or peace in the Middle East initiative. And then, of course, because of the government shutdown, you guys do know that some of the people that are affected in this whole world is air traffic controllers. And I guess the way that they have this titled is from Duffy, air traffic controllers angry amid government shutdown delays expected. Absolutely damn rough right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, we got Naomi throwing in a $1.99, making it rain in here, saying hip hit that like and money me now. Yes, money now. Please. Very much appreciate you guys. Thank you, Naomi, for the $1.99 to start it off. All right, so before we get into it, let's go ahead and hit the like button. Helps out the show immensely, and it's absolutely free to do so. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because it's also free. But here comes the money part. Let's get the money part over, right? Please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. We're making sure we're not breaking the bank out there for anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep the freaking lights on and allows us to be on these airwaves, man. So thank you guys for becoming members and staying members. And listen, speaking of what you get out of membership, tomorrow morning is members only. Every single Saturday morning, 10 a.m., we have a uncensored members only live stream for you guys. So we always have a great ass time, and you guys have a lot of input on what we do over there. So if you guys are members, of course, you guys know the deal. A little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, all that great shit. Go ahead and follow me there, and also direct message me over there because I really don't see much on Discord. I see the entire server on Discord, but Discord DMs, I don't do none of that. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, well, then we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And of course, I'll read out what you send in, just like a super chat would be. Also, I will call it out. I've got my email up, so if anything comes through, I will absolutely see it. All right, good morning to everybody. Thank you all for hanging out with us this morning. We're going to pretty much have to get right into this. But we got Naomi in the building. We got Mountain Woman. We've got Rapid of Chaos. Good morning to you guys. We've got PanelCon. Yes, sir. Great to see you in the chat, my bro. Let's see. We got Evil Rick. We got Prez in the building as well as Steve Posey. And he says Prickster is going to end up in prison. Well, I think we all can hope, right? We got Gary in the building. Shout out to my man. Good morning. We got Carney's Ride as well as Hardwire, my man. Good morning. Saying I'm driving but listening. Absolutely, bro. Make sure you drive safe. We've got Straight Jacket in the hizzy as well, man. Good morning to you, kind sir. Great profile picture, by the way. We got K2 Keep On Trucking saying shit. Always appreciate you, dog. All right, let's get right into this morning. We are going to be starting off with a judge extends a block on National Guard in Chicago.
I want to show you this live vantage point that we have there in the Windy City, as we've been focusing a lot on what we're seeing with some of these ICE operations happening. And so ultimately, we would do the latest on the federal immigration operation in Chicago. This is where Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is now calling for ICE agents in his state to be held accountable for their actions. And now joining us for team coverage, not just covering Chicago, but we'll also be heading out to Northern California in just a little while. We have Fox's Caroline Elliott, as well as there with KTVU.
Why do you guys do this? Why are you gay? Why are you gay? Real quick, let's go ahead and get the money part over. Like I said, we
just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Correct. She got it.
Christian Captain, Caroline, I want to start with you. Can you give us those updates there from the Windy City?
Yeah, Christina, well, it sounds like what Governor Pritzker is trying to do.
Thank you for exiting her out. Mute that bitch when she's not fucking talking. She's outside, obviously, and you can hear it. We got 13 in the building as well. Good morning, kind sir. Happy Fuck It Friday to you, as well as Josephus in the building saying, do them YouTube things. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Bumbleclot. That's right.
Possibly make it to where he could prosecute some of these people down the line. Governor Pritzker says he wants a clear record showing what ICE agents are doing in Chicago. Governor Pritzker signed an executive order today creating what's called the Illinois Accountability Commission. The board is
Illinois Accountability Commission. Are you serious right now?
Looking for any kind of video to document how ICE agents or any federal officer really has acted during Operation Midway Blitz.
And we actually covered this exact ordeal that they're showing right here. We were watching this happen that day.
The Trump administration says they're going after undocumented migrants with criminal records, but the ICE operation in Chicago has been highly controversial. We've seen those protests play out for weeks now, including some that have turned violent outside ICE's Broadview facility. Governor Pritzker has been highly critical, no surprise there, of these ICE operations in Chicago. And now he says he won't.
I'm guessing you meant to say deceiving. I'm guessing that's what the last word you meant to say, deceiving.
While trying to pursue criminal charges down the line.
Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem, Tom Homan, and Greg Bovino have failed their oaths of office and allowed agents under their command to act unconscionably under the color of law. And while states have limited abilities against federal immunity, we must remind everyone that this is not forever. There will come a time where people of good faith are empowered to uphold the law. When the time comes, Illinois will have the testimony and the records needed to pursue.
She went to go talk. Meanwhile, we got Prickster that we're trying to listen here.
Justice to its fullest extent.
According to DHS, the feds have made 1,500 arrests during Operation Midway Blitz, including some who were known Tren Aragua gang members and others who were arrested for child sex crimes. And Trump's team says the work here is not done yet. The president again calling for the National Guard to move into Chicago, posting on a Truth Social today that, quote, 14 people were shot over the weekend in Chicago, 4 dead.
And ironically, we're going to be showing this tweet later when Trump is dealing with not only Trump calls San Francisco surge, postpones federal troop deployment. So now he's calling, for, hey, listen, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Fuck y'all rogue judges. We making this shit happen.
What does Governor Pritzker and the equally pathetic mayor say now?
Put the pressure
bring
on
the
them.
federal government and bring them in now. Right now, though, we should note that that's not possible because a federal judge blocked the deployment of the National Guard here. Trump's team has filed an emergency appeal to the Supreme Court, but it's not clear.
I think on Fridays he's supposed to be doing his physical therapy, his PT.
If or when they will issue that decision. Christina.
All right, we certainly appreciate Caroline Elliott there in Chicago, able to give us that update. So what we're going to do now is show you this live vantage point that we have there in San Francisco, as this is not the only place that we're seeing some of these ICE operations. We're hoping here to check in there with KTVU and Fox 2. Christian Captain should be on the line. Christian, are you able to still hear us and give us an update on what you have seen across the country as it pertains to some, specifically there in your city as it pertains to some of these ICE updates?
Yeah. Well, I really don't care about this guy. I don't really care about what he's going to say over here. We know that the judge, I want to know the name of the judge.
Front as well in San Francisco.
Okay, hold on. Let me back that up so where we can hear that.
Lurie said that.
Because I do want to hear what the compilation they have here.
San Francisco, President.
Right here. Perfect.
About the possibility of the Trump administration sending federal law enforcement assets to San Francisco, President Trump and San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie have announced that a surge in federal deployment for immigration enforcement is now off.
Late last night, I received a phone call from the President of the United States.
I received a phone call from the president. Real quick, we got TVT in the building. Shout out to my man up there in Canada.
In that call, Mayor Lurie said that he told the president that San Francisco is on the rise and told the president about progress on law enforcement and progress on the financial front as well in San Francisco. Mayor Lurie said he welcomed ongoing partnerships with the FBI, DEA, ATF, and U.S. attorneys to get drugs and drug dealers off the city's streets.
In our conversation, the president...
There's Steve Easy. Shit. What's good? What's good, you group of tiz having small hat loving hooligans? This motherfucker.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Shit. We thought you were out there hunting.
The president told me clearly that he was calling off any plans for a federal surge in San Francisco. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem reaffirmed that direction in our conversation this morning.
What's up, brother KP?
The president posted on his social media platform that he'd spoken with friends in the area and Mayor Lurie, and that the mayor had asked him very nicely that he be given a chance to turn it around. The president said he'd received calls from the heads of NVIDIA and Salesforce and ultimately decided to hold off on a deployment.
Maybe you heard we were going to do a big surge in San Francisco, but I got a great call from some incredible people.
The White House said the president was interested in working across the aisle to address crime.
He is genuinely interested in this effort to make our streets safer, to make our cities safe and clean again. And he heard from the mayor last night who told him that he is going to earnestly try to make his city better on his own. The president heard him out. He said, okay, I'll give you a chance. We'll be watching. And if you need us, we are here.
California's Governor Gavin Newsom pointed to a drop in crime in San Francisco and said the president tends to listen when billionaires speak. The governor said while the deployment appears to be off, he questions whether that will be the case going forward.
I'm not thinking for a second that's the end of this in California, quite the contrary.
This fucking guy. This guy is such a piece of shit.
This guy's just winding up. Watch Election Day.
I can't believe this guy is still governor. I just don't get it. Why do they keep voting this idiot in?
Watch ICE, not just National Guard. Watch what's going on. Your own eyes, all across this country. This guy is a chaos president, and I don't know what more symbolic or substantive example you need than that.
Is based on some of these perceptions from Mr. Benioff, and do you have anything further to say on that?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, I'm going to say what I've said.
Why can we barely hear him? Okay. Okay, so we know the rest of the story there. Judge fucking blocked it. I would like to know the name of that judge, though. That would be fucking nice. All right, real quick, we got Joseph in the chat, by the way, up there, our favorite snow Mexican up there in Canada. Always appreciate him as well, saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, Bob, and can't forget the haters. Forget the pieces of shit. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
I agree there, kind sir. Great to see you in the chat, man. And, yeah, Steve Posey, absolutely, dude. He just hates America. He hates California. He hates everything, bro. It's just the way of the road. All right. So we have a Trump roundtable with Bondi, Hegseth, Noam, and Patel. Now, this is a very long conference. We're not going to listen to the entire thing, of course. We're going to try to skip around a little bit and try to get some good, valid information here. We're going to hear what Trump has to say in the very beginning. And we may or may not listen to the others here. I really don't care about them just talking to talk. I care about what they're actually doing. And this is into regards of the narco terrorists and all of the different drug lords and all of this bullshit, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Homeland Security efforts.
Oh, it's a great honor to have all my friends here. It's like Old Home Week. What a job you're doing. And thank you very much for that. We want to begin by thanking the people that have done such a great job at the White House. They have been doing.
Yeah, but I called you that one time, TVT, and you're like, I ain't no Mexican, bro.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
I'm like, oh, shit. All right, homie. I won't say that anymore to you. You know what I mean?
Really incredible work during a shutdown. I don't even know if they're supposed to be working, but they wouldn't miss a day. So I just want to thank everybody for that very much. And we're here today to discuss a sweeping, unprecedented, and historically successful operation that my administration has carried out in recent weeks to arrest, prosecute, and permanently remove members of foreign drug cartels from American soil. And the people gathered around this table are the ones that are doing it, and in this room. Some of them sitting a little bit behind. In fact, some of them, I'm surprised, are not actually at the table. You people should be very insulted by that. But you've done a great job back there. On my first day in office earlier this year, I signed an executive order to officially designate the drug cartels and savage transnational
as actual terrorists, correct?
Gangs as foreign terrorist organizations. Yep. It was my honor to do so. And on that same day,
it's surprising that wasn't a thing beforehand. That these motherfucking narco, like all the cartel, all that shit, they were never labeled as the fucking terrorists or a terrorist organization, which is odd. I would think that every single president would be like, no, fuck them. You know what I mean? But real quick, we got K2 Keep On Trucking coming in with the $5, bro. Thank you very much for making it rain in here. He's saying the families need to sue Newsom for giving illegals CDLs. I agree, and deleting their family members. Absolutely. Oh, you know, this motherfucker can't see. Don't worry, just go to your doctor, your eye doctor. They'll sign you a waiver. Oh, you're an illegal here? Oh, no, you can totally drive our trucks here. Even though you can't read or see anything in English, you know, you can't actually understand it. It makes total sense. Let's just give them all the jobs.
Also signed an order directing the creation of the Homeland Security Task Force to bring together all federal, state, and local partners to achieve the national policy goal of eliminating the cartel presence in America once and for all. And the results are, and it's early, and the results are spectacular. Led by ICE and the FBI, this task force includes the Department of Justice, the Department of War, DHS, the intelligence community, ATF, the DEA, the U.S. Marshals, and the state and local agencies in every part of our country. Other than that, we don't include too many people. That's a hell of a group, isn't it, huh? When you think of it. That's not a group you want against you. Certainly not at one time. In addition to the task force members, we're pleased to be joined by representatives of law enforcement at every level, the highest level, actually, but every level, including National President of the Fraternal Order of Police, Patrick Yos. Where's Patrick? Patrick, thank you, Patrick. Thank you for the endorsement, too. That really hit it off. I would have gotten 98% anyway, but it was still good to have your endorsement. Thank you, Patrick.
What's up, Brennan?
I don't forget those things.
Good morning, good morning.
President of the National Sheriff's Association, Chris West. Chris, thank you,
Extra
Chris.
surprise,
Great,
my man.
Good job. Major Cities Chief Association Executive Director Laura Cooper. Laura. Thank you, Laura, very much. Major County Sheriffs of America Executive Director Megan Noland.
Hit the like button, everybody. Let's get the likes up.
Thank you very much. And President of the National Border Patrol Council, my friend, and a very good speaker, by the way. Whenever he gets up and speaks, I say, that guy can really speak. I don't know. I don't want him to run for office. I want him to stay where he is. Paul Perez. Paul. Thank you, Paul. Where is Paul? Hi, Paul. What are you doing over there, Paul? Good job. Good speaker you are, though, Paul. I mean, you've made some incredible speeches. And all from the heart, too.
Okay, Trump, I don't give a shit about his fucking speech. I'm going to be real, homie. I care less.
Massive numbers of dangerous criminals. My administration arrested nationwide since January 20th, numbering over 120,000. It's a record. And 120,000 criminal arrests. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, for 4 long years before I took office, the last administration allowed the cartels and their operatives to frankly take over our country.
Well, and I agree with that, but it's not just the last administration. Even your administration didn't do it. You know what I mean? Now, I think to be able to label something as a terrorist group, I think the president can do it by executive order, or it can be passed through Congress, right, chat? I believe I'm not just speaking out of my ass here. But it's interesting leading up that we've known the dangers of the cartel and their motives for America. So why haven't they been labeled a terrorist group in the past? Is it because the U.S. government works with the fucking cartels, or historically did? Now they're labeled as a terrorist organization.
To freely infiltrate America and all the communities nationwide, along with transnational gangs, these groups have unleashed more bloodshed and killing on American soil than all other terrorist groups combined. These are the worst of the worst. It should now be clear to the entire world.
Oh, wow, that's a W right there, real quick. We got Naomi letting us know we had 25 in here, and we have 25 likes. Appreciate you guys. W for the chat. Very much appreciate you guys.
That the cartels are the ISIS of the Western Hemisphere, in addition to their monstrous violence, such as cutting off heads, burning their enemies alive, and burning innocent people alive, too, by the way. The cartels control large swaths of territory. They maintain vast arsenals of weapons and soldiers, and they use extortion, murder, kidnapping to exercise political and economic control. Thank you very much, Joe Biden, for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, but it wasn't just Joe Biden, homie.
Biden surrendered the...
he definitely did some fuck shit with the cartel. Absolutely, guaranteed.
He surrendered our country to the cartels.
Yeah, but historically, they've kind of ran their own operation, and we never labeled them as a terrorist organization.
Don't worry, it gets better. We're taking it back. It's really fast at levels that nobody's ever seen before. But what we had to put up with, what we inherited, was just a disgrace. And while Biden was president, if he was president, I think the autopen was president, not Biden, nearly 100% of those who infiltrated our southern border did so because they were personally approved. They admitted they were just what happened, assisted by the most dangerous and violent criminal organizations anywhere on the planet. The worst people on the planet they allowed into our beautiful country. Under the Trump administration, we're finally treating the cartels as the core national security threat.
Well, about fucking time.
That they really are. The cartels are waging war on America, and just as I promised in the campaign, we're waging war on them like they've never seen before. All you have to do is turn on your television and you'll see what's happening to them. Past administrations have tried to mitigate this threat, and our objective is to eliminate it. We're not mitigating, we're eliminating. We're getting them out. The bad ones we're putting in prison. We hate to do that because that means we're stuck with them for 50 years or more. In recent weeks, our Homeland Security Task Force has seized more than 70 tons of debt.
And don't worry, we're not going to be playing this whole thing. I definitely just want to hear the front remarks of this whole ordeal.
Narcotics, along with more than 1,000 illegal guns, and that's just recently. This is already the most successful anti-cartel and anti-gang operation in American history, and it's just getting started. We have incredible people. A lot of them are in this room with us today, and it's an honor to have them. But we're going to not stop until the threat has been fully and completely eradicated. I want to thank task force members with us today, including a person who's doing a fantastic job, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Sounds so much better than Secretary of Defense. I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? I don't know. It sounds, we won the First World War, the Second World War. I would say everything before and everything in between. And then we got woke, and we said, well, let's call it defense. I think we like it this way better. It's funny. That's something I thought it would be maybe controversial. And it's only controversial that we changed the name in the first place. It's not controversial at all. It's been unbelievably well accepted, Pete. Hasn't it, right? It's been.
He's talking about the Department of War. Well, here's the thing. Department of War, for people that do not know, that's what the Department of Defense was called originally, all the way up until World War II, essentially. Right after World War II is when it changed to the Department of Defense. Originally, for all those years prior, it was Department of War. And so, listen, he's not just, oh, I want to make this sound beefy. He's like, no, I'm just going to bring it back to what it originally was.
Pretty amazing. I thought it would be controversial. People want to have our country back. People want to do exactly what we're doing right now, and we're getting a lot of credit for it, and we should. I want to thank, though, Pete. You're doing a great job. Pete Hegseth. Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. Kristi, thank you very much. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, good job. And the heads of all of the law enforcement agencies all throughout the room. You're really amazing, the job you've done. To provide additional details on our mission, I would like also to ask General Bondi to say a few words, followed by Secretary Noem.
Okay, so now he's just going to bring up the rest of these fucks. And really, we don't need to do that because we got still quite a bit to go over this morning. We've got a big news cycle. Trump calls off San Francisco surge, postpones federal troop deployment. As you guys do know already, regards to Chicago already, but over there in San Francisco, see, this is what they're talking about, the National Guard deployment in Chicago and how there was a federal judge, again, that put another hold on the whole ordeal. So now he's tweeting this, going like, are you fucking serious? Like, there was just 14 people shot over the weekend in Chicago and 4 dead. What does failed Governor Pritzker and the equally pathetic mayor say now? Bring in the federal government and bring them in now. That's his response there. So, anyways.
Christian Captain should be on the line with this. Christian, are you able to still hear us and give us an update on what you have seen across the country as it pertains to some, specifically there in your
So he's calling a federal operation in San Francisco. Oh, shit.
City as it pertains to some of these ICE updates.
Yeah, we've seen a group of federal agents coming into.
Now I do care about what this guy has to say.
Bay Area into the city of Alameda.
But I can barely fucking hear it. I'm going to put the captions on.
And there was the imminent announcement that those troops would be, that those federal agents would be going into San Francisco, but we learned today.
There we go. Thank you to the audio. And I hate these fucking people.
Mayor and from the mayor.
All those audio engineers are like DEI hires and shit.
From the president himself that had in fact been called off, that federal deployment to San Francisco is off, at least for now.
Oh my God, this audio engineer brought it to where he can only, oh my God.
About the possibility of the Trump administration sending federal law enforcement assets to San Francisco, President Trump and San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie have announced that a surge in federal deployment for immigration enforcement is now off.
Late last night, I received a phone call from the President of the United States.
In that call, Mayor Lurie said that he told the
president.
So
we heard this section, but I just didn't really catch the remainder of this.
That direction.
Here we go. This is the part that I don't think I heard.
In San Francisco. Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, reaffirmed that direction in our conversation this morning.
For his part, the president posted on his social media.
Man, I don't know if I heard all this.
Friends in the area and Mayor Lurie. And the mayor had asked him very nicely that he be given a chance to turn it around.
Maybe this was from that part was from yesterday.
He received calls from the heads of NVIDIA and Salesforce and ultimately decided to hold off on a deployment.
Maybe you heard we were going to do a big surge.
What's up, Heather? Good morning to you and happy Friday. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far.
Got a great call from some incredible people.
The White House said the president was interested in working across the aisle to address crime.
He is genuinely interested in this effort to make our streets safer, to make our cities safe and clean again. And he heard from the mayor last night who told him that he is going to earnestly try to make his city better on his own. The president heard him out. He said, okay, I'll give you a chance. We'll be watching. And if you need us, we are here.
California's Governor Gavin Newsom.
Okay, so we did watch a lot of this. I think I did cut it short, though. But nonetheless, so that's happening. So we have 2 different ordeals happening, one in San Francisco, one in Chicago. Got it. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to get the full remarks from Rubio. He spoke in Israel 3 hours ago, and I have that video for us to go ahead and present. And 3, 2, 1, here it goes.
Deal, what you're describing to me means the deal fell apart. But right now, we're not at that stage, and that's what we're trying to prevent. That's why I'm saying to you, we're not going to forget about the hostages. We push every single day, and we'll continue to push until the remains of every single hostage is returned. Work is going on. Even as I speak to you now, that's being pushed on. That's not something we're going to start talking about. We fully expect that Hamas will fully demilitarize. That is the agreement they signed on to. That is the agreement that all of the nation states that joined this effort signed on to, and we expect it to be fulfilled. Now, we're about 8, 10, 12 days into this. But and the third point is we don't want to see any threats against Israel coming out of the areas that Hamas is currently still present in. And that won't be tolerated either. So the president's made that very clear, that if Hamas threatens Israel or fails to demilitarize it, this will be taken care of. But that is what this whole effort is about, is making sure that all of those commitments are met on both sides.
Secretary,
yes.
Behind you, actually, an open source reporting that the U.S. accepted Israel's veto of Turkish forces and the ISF. Is that accurate? And can you provide any detail on that security force, how big it will be, who it will include, or any other?
Well, we haven't formed that force yet, so there's still work going on. There's a lot of countries that have offered to do it. Obviously, as you put together this force, it'll have to be people that Israel's comfortable, or countries that Israel's comfortable with as well. Let me just say that I think there are a lot of countries that are expressing interest right now. I'm not going to get into a list of who they are. I'm not going to get into a list of who's offered, who's been vetoed. Into that. Suffice it to say that there are plenty of countries.
That's them lagging, by the way.
That have offered and are interested in participating. I also think it's fair to these countries they need to know what they're signing up for, which is why the work is ongoing to create what is the security force, what is their mandate, what is their command.
Make sure you guys join up that Discord. Naomi threw in the link. Make sure you guys get in there. We have a majority of you guys in there, a high majority, probably like 95 to 98%. But we got to get the rest of you guys from the IWF over there, man.
What authority are they going to be operating? Who's going to be in charge of it? What is their job? I mean, how's it going to be resourced? How's it going to be sustained and paid for? What are the rules of engagement? There's a lot to work through. That's why there's all these people working in this building. So part of getting people to sign up is you have to tell them what they're signing up for. So, but I don't want to get into any who's being vetoed, who's not being allowed. Obviously, you know, every member of this force has to be someone who has capability and willingness, but also someone that everyone's comfortable with, including Israel.
If I could... Right next to you stands the print of the Trump's 20-point plan, and as we can see in number 4, within 72 hours, Israel should take in all Israeli living and deceased hostages. Those 72 hours have passed a long time ago, and we're not seeing those hostages being returned fully. Is the U.S. doing enough for that? And my second question is,
yes, well, yeah. Here's the whole thing, man. We discussed this a lot on this channel regards to Israel and their hostages and the hostage situation. I can guarantee you that the bodies that are not found yet, they're legitimately lost and or completely obliterated by now. So I got to give them that they handed over all of the living hostages. Bless them for that, at least, you know what I mean? Have a little bit of fucking mercy. And then the ones that unfortunately were unalive, which were a lot, 29 of them, they were only able to recover 19. So I think the 10 others are legitimately lost.
The U.S. is doing more than anybody else is for that, and we're going to continue to do for that, and it's going to happen. The remains are going to be released. That's going to happen.
And my second question
is, if it doesn't, then the deal got broken, but it's going to happen.
And the second question is about the technocratic government that would rule Gaza, the Palestinian government. We're hearing from Hamas that they are part of the
I'm sure it will, Jimmy.
This government. Does that not miss all the point of what we're doing here?
Yeah, I think everyone talking about that's getting way ahead of themselves. There's a lot of work to be done here, and there's going to be some impediments along the way and things of this nature that people put out there. Suffice it to say that everyone that signed on to this plan, all of these other countries agreed, and everyone agreed that Hamas...
We got chatting with Stacks in the building as well, my man. Great to see you in the chat. Hopefully you're enjoying your Fuck It Friday so far.
Cannot govern and cannot be involved in governing the future of Gaza. Everyone's agreed to that. Okay, so that has to be part of this, but we're not at that stage yet. Remember, we are still at the stage, even as all that's being worked on, we're at the stage of just trying to maintain the ceasefire. We're trying to be at the stage of getting humanitarian assistance to flow. We're trying to get to the stage of ensuring that all the commitments made, including the hostages, are lived up to. We're still at that stage where we have to ensure that there are no threats against Israel emanating from Gaza, because there are still terrorists inside of Gaza.
Yes, of course there's going to be, but you're kind of deviating on the question here.
particularly behind that yellow or in front of that yellow line. So we're at that stage, and that's what everyone here is working on, even as we work on the other elements of the plan that you're outlining. This is a long-term plan. Before you get to all these 20 points and you get through all of this, is going to require a lot of work over a long period of time. All of that work is ongoing. We're not even 2 weeks into this. I think the progress that's been made in 12 days or 14 days since this was originally...
I will agree with that sentiment right there. The amount of progress that's happened in the 12 days so far has been absolutely amazing, actually. Something that I didn't think was going to happen.
Is historic and extraordinary. There's nothing to compare this to.
There's
no other effort in modern history that you could look at and say, this is just like that. This is something very difficult, but worth doing. It'll be historic if it can be pulled off.
But just tell them the truth. These motherfuckers lost these fucking bodies, bro. They can't find them.
We're committed to making sure that
Tell
happens.
them the truth.
It will change the character. It will change Israel's security in the long term. It will change the character and the nature of the region in a positive way. We are committed to making that work, and we're committed to ensuring that every one of these points is lived up to. But it's not going to be an easy ride. There are going to be bumps along the road, but we have to make it work. There is no other alternative, and we feel good about the progress that's being made. Every day that goes by, it gets better. We have work to do, guys. We still need more people involved in this. We still need more.
Yeah, we know all that, Rubio. Come on, bro.
Terminated trade negotiations with Canada.
I want to hear the next question.
If I could ask you a question just a little closer to home. Yesterday, President Trump terminated trade negotiations with Canada. Have you spoken with Foreign Minister Anand? What can Canada do to resume these?
Well, I think what happened is one of the leaders in Canada was running ads in the United States on tariffs that took President Reagan's words out of context. Even the Reagan Foundation criticized him for it. But I have not spoken. I've been traveling since yesterday. But I have not spoken to the foreign minister since then. But I mean,
what's up, Frederick Frame? Good morning to you, kind sir. Great to see you in the chat, bro.
The president made his announcement that he suspended any trade talks with Canada for now.
In an interview with Fox News, President Trump implied that Israel is a proxy of the U.S. Do you agree?
I didn't hear that interview. He's never said that.
Okay.
I mean, but it really is a proxy to the U.S. It is, though.
Do the U.S. see for the Palestinian Authority in Gaza the day after? You know, we've heard about a lot of plans that was done by the Palestinian Authority.
The Palestinian Authority?
Yeah, that's Mahmoud Abbas Authority.
Yeah, look, again, I mean, obviously, you know, and I've expressed and we've expressed our concerns about the Palestinian Authority as it stands today. It's certainly needed reform. As far as what role it's going to play in the future of Gaza, that's yet to be determined, if any role at all. We don't know. I mean, that's what's being worked on. Again, this is very complex. I mean, we are dealing with 30 or 40 years of mistakes, 30 or 40 years of terrorism, 30 or 40 years of deeply embedded problems, and we're about 14 days into this agreement. So right now we're...
Hell yeah, the likes are up to 30, and we got 26 watching currently. Let's go. Legends. That's what I'm talking about. W to you guys.
Trying to get through this, and
thank you guys for hitting the like button.
Governance of Gaza, that is not Hamas. It's not a terrorist organization. That's work that's going to need to be done. I mean, I can't prejudge what that's going to look like now, because that's going to be something that has to be worked on collectively with Israel, with partner nation states, and something everyone has. For it to work, everyone has to agree to it. For that to work, everyone has to agree to it. The work is happening, but we're not at that stage where I can tell you this is what it's actually going to look like. Nobody can tell you that. But I can tell you what it can't look like. It cannot be a place that is governed by anyone who wants to use it as a launch pad for attacks against Israel. If it is, then there'll be another war. There won't be any...
Right, and hence the proxy thing.
Peace. There will never be peace as long as there's an area or a territory that's being used as a launch pad to threaten Israel's security. Everyone understands that, and everyone that signed on to this deal understands that.
On humanitarian aid, you mentioned that that's going to be coordinated through here. I wonder if you could say what the role of the UN will be, and specifically what role UNRWA might play in...
UNRWA's not going to play any role in it.
You know, I really don't know a lot about pancreatitis, but I will say, or the symptoms of it either. But I'll tell you, left-handed tobacco has definitely only bettered my life. So...
Okay, UNRWA's not going to play any role in it. The UN is here. The UN is. We're seeing the work they're doing. The World Food Program. There's also nonprofit NGOs, you know, humanitarian assistance organizations that are involved in this. Samaritan's Purse. So it's a conglomeration of about 8 to 12 groups that are here. The United Nations is here. They're on the ground. We're willing to work with them if they can make it work. But not UNRWA. UNRWA became a subsidiary of Hamas.
And so when you were talking about disarming Hamas, there's been some discussion of a program to buy back weapons.
Well, there's a lot of ideas floating out there.
So
ultimately,
how seriously is that?
Well, I don't know, but look, there's a lot of ideas out there about that. The bottom line is, you know,
wait, why are you giving terrorists the option to buy back firearms? Is that they were talking about Hamas?
You can't have any of the elements of terrorism. You can't have tunnels. You can't have rockets. You can't have anything that threatens Israel's security. I point back to the answer I just gave.
Right, and so firearms are going to be a threat to Israel. So they're not going to give them back.
If Israel's security is threatened, if 5 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 years from now, Gaza is a place where people who want to destroy Israel are able to operate from with impunity, there's not going to be peace. Everyone knows that. Every country that signed on to this understands that. It is one of the principles that's outlined here. That cannot be the outcome. The outcome needs to be a Gaza where people have jobs and a life and a better future, and people aren't thinking about how do I kill Israelis, how do I attack Israel.
1,000%, by the way, Gary, you're spot on.
Because if we can't reach that point, then there's not going to be a peace. There's not going to be an enduring peace. You can't be at peace with elements that want to destroy you and kill you and carry out another October 7th. Everyone recognizes that. But there's a lot of work that we need to do to achieve that. We're not there today, 14 days, 13 days after this deal was signed. But I can tell you we've made more progress in 13 days than anyone thought possible. We've come a long way. This is the first mile in a very long journey.
Okay, so now we're just going to reiterate things that he's already spoken about, really, because he's taking questions, and I think that's just going to be a repeat from there. We're moving on into, all right, air traffic controllers angry amid government shutdown delays expected. This just came out 2 hours ago. So let's go ahead and hear what they've got to say here.
First off, I want to...
that was an aggressive handshake right there. Did you guys see that? I mean, that's some shit that I would do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First off, I want to thank the Republican leadership team and Republicans in the House for your votes to keep the government open, keep the government funded. Usually this is a House problem. It's in the Senate right now. The Senate can't find the votes to keep the government open, and it's Democrat votes. And I thought you made a really good point, Mr. Speaker, that I do think in the Democrat senators' hearts, they want to vote to open the government up. They don't want to hurt the American people. But we've seen they have a radical base, a base that's out of control. And if they vote to open up the government, what's going to happen is they are going to be primaried. They are going to be attacked. Maybe their funding might dry up. And so this shutdown is not about the American people, not about the pain that America experiences because of the shutdown. This is because Democrats are...
Be safe out there, brother TVT. Always appreciate having you.
...concerned about their own hide, and they've sold the country to the most radical element of their country. And I think that's...
What's up,
really
Charles?
shameful.
Good morning.
Too bad.
Over there in
I also want to thank the
Australia land, by the way, from down under. It's like, for him, it's like 1:45 in the morning.
Congress, led by Sam Graves. Many of you have seen what's happened with our air traffic control system. It's old, it's antiquated, it's safe, but it has to be massively rebuilt. We need a new system, and I want to thank the House for leading that effort. We've asked for $31.5 billion. We got a down payment of $12.5 billion to begin that really important work. Before the shutdown, we have crafted our teams in a way that can keep that work moving forward. It doesn't stop during the shutdown because, again...
So I guess this happened yesterday during their, because they come out every single day and they bring guys on and on their platform, and they're speaking every day about this government shutdown. And I must have missed this. Because we didn't present it yesterday, the day 23, we didn't play day 23's video because it hadn't come out yet.
6 months from now, you all won't care that Democrats shut the government down. You'll want to know what the results are and the progress of building this new system.
Someone was probably
that is
late.
Still operational. But I do want to talk about air traffic controllers for a moment because I think
She's
this
sleeping.
is incredibly important. They're angry. I've gone to a number of different towers over the course of the last week to 10 days. They're frustrated. They're frustrated that the Congress is focused, at least in the Senate, on paying for health care benefits for illegals as opposed to paying their...
Well, guess what, Charles? I ain't waking her ass up for you.
...paychecks for the great work that they provide to the American people. That makes...
you can always send money, and, I might be more apt to put on my leg and get up and go get her.
...makes them angry. You've seen, as the speaker
Till then,
mentioned,
shove it.
Across the national airspace, we see a small, there's certain centers or TRACONs or towers where we'll see a lower staffing. When we have lower staffing, what happens is you'll see delays or cancellations. But it's not one tower, it's not one TRACON, it's not one center. It's maybe one center one day, it's a TRACON another day. It's kind of moving throughout the national airspace, but it's causing disruptions. So a week ago, last Tuesday, air traffic controllers got 90% of their pay because that paycheck came from most of it for the work they did in September. So they got most of the money. Next Tuesday is the first paycheck that they will not.
And by the way, hopefully you're enjoying your Friday morning as well, there, Mountain Woman.
Receive for the work that they did in October. And to the speaker's point, We have air traffic controllers who work more than 5 days a week. They work 6 days a week to make sure they can cover air travel throughout the country. And so if you have a controller that's working 6 days a week, but has to think about how am I going to pay the mortgage, how am I going to make the car payment, how am I going to put food on my kid's table, they have to make
well, Charles, I guess I'm a fucking liberal.
choices. And the choices they're making is to take a second job. Well, I don't want my air traffic controllers to take a second job. I want them to do one job. I don't want them delivering for DoorDash. I don't want them driving Uber. I want them coming to their facilities and controlling the airspace. But they're having to make decisions about how they...
Yes, I am pogoing right now. Yes. We are pogoing. Look, I'm not capping. You think I'm fucking capping? Look at this shit. This is the whole get down when it's taken off. And then this whole thing slides up, obviously rolls up my leg. But yeah. We're pogoing right now, dude. All right, here we go.
Spend their time to make sure they put food on their table, feed their kids, and support their family members. I want to make one other point really clear. Some have asked about safety, or you maybe ask me if I'll let you give me some questions. Safety is paramount for us. And so if we don't have this...
What's up, SST? Great to see you in the chat, by the way.
Levels in a tower, TRACON, or center, you will see us delay traffic. You will see us cancel flights. Because I want you to get to where you're going. I want America to get to their destination and get there safely. And it's not moving as many flights as possible. It's moving as many flights as possible safely. That is our mission. That is our number one goal. And if we can't do that, you'll see the flights come down. You will see the delays and you'll see the cancellations. One of the problems that I want to address that we're seeing now in the shutdown, you've seen that we don't have enough air traffic controllers. We're 2,000 or 3,000 air traffic controllers short.
2,000 or 3,000 air traffic controllers. Fucking, that's how fucking much they're down right now. Holy shit. How are you gonna fill that shit? Like, how are you gonna compensate? That's pretty rough.
And so what I've done is I've developed a plan to supercharge air traffic controllers into our system. The president said, bring in the best and the brightest young men and women to work in this space, which is what we've done. We've shortened the timeline from testing to get into to our facility where we...
I don't like that. I think that, yes, we need air traffic controllers, absolutely. But you can't just speed train these motherfuckers. No, bro. That's not how this shit works. Yes, you can train them. Train them for a long time. Train them for the normal allotted time.
Train our air traffic controllers in Oklahoma City.
We don't need fucking planes being fucked up, you know what I mean, because of an air traffic controller forgot that he had this guy over here and blah, 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 and now he's created a humongous crash or some shit. We don't need that.
The timeline. Get the best and the brightest. The highest test scores come in first. And that's what we've done. It's going to be a multi-year process to make up the shortfall that we have in the system. But I'm getting word now from Oklahoma City where I have young air traffic controller students who are now telling me, what the hell am I doing? Why am I going to take this job? They're thinking about leaving the academy, smart young men and women, because they don't want to work for a system that won't pay them, that doesn't guarantee them a paycheck. And their paychecks are at risk. We pay those controllers as they go through the academy.
Here, I got you, Naomi. Good timing. We always do one in the beginning, one in the end. You know what I mean?
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit. All right, we're good now.
Denied.
W.
We don't pay them a lot of money either. They rely on that. And when that money doesn't come, it creates not just disruptions for when Democrats in the Senate decide to forego the crazy left and actually fight for America. That's problems that ricochet in the months, in the years to come. And I think it's important that we tell that story because if we don't, I think that you can give the Democrats a pass. We have to talk about the real consequences of what the shutdown does, talk about who we're fighting for, and why this matters. To, again, open up your government. Open it up. It's easy. And then sit down and negotiate. Have a conversation. But to allow the radical element in the Senate to hold America hostage, I think would be shameful. That's not how.
Well, and that's what is happening. So that's the end of that. All right, let me see if we're all caught up in the rest of the news cycle here. We're 100% caught up. Wow. All right, I'll let this play out then.
We operate. We don't negotiate.
There's only a minute left.
when that is the structure set by Democrats. So I'm all in favor of making sure this funding comes. Let's open it up. Let's have a great conversation. Let's figure out where we go forward. And I think
what's
that
up, Penguin?
would be the most common sense
Good morning.
approach. But I'll just tell you this. I want to reiterate.
Happy Friday,
we're all
man.
about safety, and we will make sure we work every day on that part of our job. But again, I can't guarantee you that your flight's going to be on time. I can't guarantee you that your flight's not going to be canceled. It's going to depend on our air traffic controllers coming in to work every single day. And again, my message to them is, one, thank you for coming and working. We appreciate that. Come to work. Even if you don't get a paycheck, we need you to come to work. But if they do not, we'll know whose fault it is.
But hey, Charles, naturally you are funding somehow. I know it's not you, probably. It's a gifted membership. But hey, you got a fucking membership, so theoretically you are funding.
I want to say, as I introduce Sam Graves, Sam has been a champion in the airspace. The industry loves him. No one has done more to drive this reform of how we build a brand new air traffic control system, thinking it through, driving it through the Congress, making the sales pitch than Sam Graves. And I couldn't be more grateful for his friendship and partnership.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for making these very shows happen. I'm very honored to be able to do this every single day, Monday through Saturday, not every single day. Got to have your one day off, you know what I mean? Got to have one day to yourself to be able to collect and not think about fucking the crazy shit. And even though, you know what's funny is on Sundays, most times, that's when I'm watching the news the most. So ironically, I don't keep myself sane. You know what I mean? I fucking still am investigating it. I mean, this is what my whole life has turned into is doing this shit. You know what I mean? And following the sources and understanding the stories behind of what is happening, you know what I mean? And actually having an understanding, you know. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for being here. We're going to send you guys over to, it looks like Black Dragon's live, so he still must be going. We'll send you guys over there. And listen, much love, honor, respect to everybody. Thank you all for being here and helping out the show. And whether that's you guys liking the video at the very end, or commenting in the live chat, engaging, it's all appreciated. You know what I mean? So, all right. We'll see you guys here tomorrow. For members only, because we're going to be doing members only. Stick around for that. Stick around for the raid. And much love and respect to everybody. And God bless everybody. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Be safe.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul.